Who, Dave?
GL. Yeah.
All right, we're live. Here we are.
Live on the internet.
This is live on the internet right now.
This is live on the internet. I can and look, hey, they gave us some more stuff to share, so I'm going to share that. Do you guys want to start it off? Will I give a couple more links out there for people to follow? Everybody that is joining us, this is the wrap-up party for the Kickstarter Power of Grayskull. Thanks for watching.
I can't speak.
Oh, there, now it's up. There was a bit of lag.
Oh, you're watching it at the same time?
Yeah, how else do we know if we're awesome?
This is live. I can tell you it's live. There's a live button on
Well,
mine.
you might want to turn down your volume over there, Rand, because I can hear it playing back. It's looping.
I turned it up really loud. I turned up the volume really loud so I could see if we were awesome or not. And we were really good.
Hilarious.
It was really good.
Yeah, I'm so glad that we're awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's lucky. It's a lucky thing that we were.
I love that we're awesome at 1 o'clock in the morning out here in Ontario.
I can't hear you, Mark. What's that?
Probably post that link to Facebook and shit.
Yeah, we're going to put that link up.
And Mark should stop swearing because we're live to the internet. And
There is definitely a nice doubling happening somewhere.
Is that a rule?
yeah, because he keeps turning up the volume over there.
No, there's no volume here.
Well, we can still hear it.
Oh, it's gone now.
Well,
No, it has been off the whole time.
Okay, cool.
Is there
Well,
a reason why the sound might be doubled, Mark? Technologically?
this is a
everything
really
sounds good now.
this is a really interesting program, guys. I hope people
This
are
is
watching.
super interesting. Cool.
Guys, this is,
Technological wizards, here we go.
this is a little podcast that we like to call getting this podcast going.
Chasing Google Hangouts.
It's meta. It's very meta.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about, the podcasting of the podcast. It's like how CBC has a show about podcasting called Podcast.
Guys, the 1,129th backer has a great name, Charles the Bowles.
I like it.
The Bowls. Thank you, the Bowls.
Charles the Bowles. Thank you, Charles. I'm sure you're here right now. Charles the Bowles.
I posted in the comments. I made a quick update, shared it on heman.org,
Oh,
put
I
it
was
on our
just about to
Facebook
put it
page,
there.
put it on our Twitter, shared it on our personal stuff. So here is hoping that somebody out there pays attention.
You know, a lot of the people are East Coasters, and not only are they in bed, but they're sleeping. They're
Sure.
sleeping in bed.
We definitely have some people watching, though. It says so. That's great. We have a few people. Again, I think a lot of people are going to catch the archived version of this, which is cool. So don't mind me, guys. There are some backers coming in right now, and as everybody that is a backer that's watching this, you know that you get a message, and that is handcrafted every single time.
It's happening
By
right
one of us.
now. You can see him writing. Rob is writing.
So there
Rob,
it is.
show them what it
Thanks.
looks like. Show them what it looks like when you're writing a message. Show the people.
Do it.
It looks like that. Oh, it's done. It's done.
Mhm.
Done. It's just how it goes.
That was Tiffany. You sent that message to Tiffany.
I did. I don't know
Tiffany
how considerate we have to be for internet privacy and stuff like that. I think first names are good, though.
Oh, do you think that we can't? I shouldn't have said her first name.
I think first names are okay. Last names probably don't kind of pair them up.
I was thinking that they were code names, but I see that a lot of them aren't.
Yeah,
Should we say
there
stuff
are
like-
some aliases, and there are a few kind of just straight up, this is who we are.
Should we totally just read out their credit card information and stuff?
No, we don't actually have
I don't
that kind of
believe we have
information.
that.
Thanks for making them feel secure in the final hours there, Isaac.
I don't believe we have anyone's credit card information, not even our own.
No, we certainly
Nope.
do not.
No.
I also don't have my credit card information.
But I will
We
say
got,
this.
Got more people tuning in now, so I guess before we dive in, we can just make a little bit more chit chat as everybody finds the links.
I think that was actually Tiffany, the '80s music star, who just.
I think
Really?
you're alone now, Rand.
Wow.
think you're alone.
Was that a reference to an 80s song?
Tiffany.
No, I am alone. Mark went out for a smokerette.
Well, he's out there.
Not Mark.
Yep. He's out there
Sorry,
killing
guys.
himself.
So let's-
smoking is bad, and that's kind of what we wanted to talk about today here.
Yep. Drugs are bad. Finger painting's cool.
Nice,
And,
nice animation cell you have behind you there, Isaac. That's pretty nice.
Well, you see, I live in this kind of open concept house, and everybody else in the house is asleep. And by everybody else, I mean my dog and my wife. So I'm confined in this small room with not much for a drop, so I brought this down off the wall.
What is that cell? What's on that cell?
This is a pretty cool piece that I picked up when we were last down in Los Angeles filming the Conan the Barbarian documentary, A Riddle of Steel. There's a really cool animation cell dealer down there that sells stuff at a flea market. We're going to get some special cells from him, actually, and share them with our backers. This cell is a little bit more special than the ones we're able to share. It has it's a panorama. And it has an original background, which has 2 layers, and then it has 2 characters, which is He-Man and riding on top of Battle Cat. So it's got 2 characters.
So that was he didn't have many of those, I take it.
No, just this one, and it was kind of expensive. But I got this one.
The panoramas are super pricey, but from what you were saying, we do have a lot of options when it comes to the animation cells that all these wonderful backers are going to secure.
Well, the tough thing, and this is something that, I mean, maybe everybody knows this about animation cells, but you do like thousands upon thousands of the acetates, the clear cells that are in front of the backgrounds. So there's a lot of them out there. I mean, we all know this, but I'm saying this to the benefit of those who don't. But the backgrounds, you only paint like a couple. You only paint one background for the whole scene. So that's why an original background's a little bit more rare and not something you can buy thousands of.
It's very cool. Our viewing numbers are going up, which is really nice, guys. Did you guys want to, let's maybe start off. We've only got 2 hours until the end of the campaign, an hour 59. I know you guys are hanging in there. You're on the East Coast. It's already 1 a.m. out there. I was selfish and put the end time midnight Pacific time where I am. I apologize, and I know you guys are battling some winter ailments. But Randall's zombieing right away.
Mark is saying something?
I'm just saying, if you're going to be in for a bit, I'll go get another mic.
Yeah, Mark's just going to go grab a mic. Yeah,
right,
some of us have the flu, and I'll admit it's me.
So here's the thing: if you want to make an awesome facial feature like that, Randall, you have to speak so the camera auto switches to you. Otherwise, we won't see you.
Oh, so when I do that face, you want me to speak?
You have to make a noise so the camera knows how to.
So for those of you who are wondering what the flu looks like in Canada, it looks vaguely like this. I look vaguely like this. And so this is sort of the feeling of having the flu. I am having it right now.
If you vomit on the camera, I think that would be...
I don't have... That's not the flu. The flu is a lung infection, actually. That is gastroenteritis when you have it in your stomach.
Here we are. Dr.
And our viewing numbers are dropping.
Welcome to He-Man MD.
What do you guys think? Let's just start off real basic. This is the first kind of Kickstarter campaign that you guys have been a part of. What did you think going into this, and now that we're an hour and 58 away from the end, what are your kind of takeaways about the process?
Isaac, why don't you start?
It's a lot of work. It's a lot more work than I expected, I'll be honest. So, you know, kudos to Rob for putting in the hours and the time. He's been leading the charge.
It's a team effort.
It is, yeah. We put together the video at the beginning and all together and got it kicking off. And yeah, no, it's been.
I want to thank the new warrior, who is our latest backer.
Nice. I mean, look at that.
Did you see me? I don't know if everyone could see me looking at that coming up and going, I just said the new warrior.
He is the new warrior. He's the new backer, new warrior. No, it's awesome. I mean, look at it.
And I want to thank Shane, who's another new backer.
Wow, right? Like, look at that. Like, I can't even say how awesome it is because another one will happen before I finish saying how. Look, there's another one happened. There we go. So I'm not seeing that. So you guys are seeing that. But no, This is pretty awesome. Like, it's. I was super blown away by the passion and the enthusiasm of the fans. Like, they all just came in and supported, you know, right out of the gate. And I
want to thank Alan for the next backer.
There you go. I can't even.
I thought that was Brad.
Brad just gave us a comment. He said less than 3K away. Let's do this. I concur.
Can people comment on in this screen?
I believe they can comment on the YouTube, which I'm keeping an eye on as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta try to find that.
I'll tell you what I think of the kit. What I think. I had an accent.
What you think up there?
I'll tell you what I think of that Kickstarter there. No, I don't know why. I don't know how that happened like that. Everybody, I'm delirious. I'll admit it. I'm delirious. I'm not knowing what I'm saying. when the Kickstarter began, people would say to me, "How do you think it's going to do?" Honestly, I had no expectations whatsoever. If we hadn't gotten any fans at all, no support, I would have probably thought, well, that's the way it was going to go. And if it had been marginally successful and we'd made it to like 17,000 or something like that, I would have thought, okay, that's okay. So, up to a certain point, I was thinking, yeah, that makes sense, that makes sense, that makes sense. But then when we were at 50, I thought, okay, this is something special here. And, when we talk amongst ourselves, Rob, you might put up something, a little message in Slack when we're chatting or whatever, that you're monitoring it, and I'll admit I started monitoring it too. So and Mark's got a mic now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it turned into a real contact sport. You wanted to see who it was, and we were looking at everybody's name. Sometimes I would go and look at the pictures and see who they were, and we found out, that they are people who like other things, and I would look at other things about them. And I don't know, maybe you guys had the same thing, that you would start to find out who these people are, and it was almost like it's so much nicer to know who your audience is, who these people are that are going to watch our documentary, and I really enjoyed that aspect.
It is so crucial, Rand, and I tell people this all the time that are getting into, and I want to thank Ryan, who is a new backer. There's people that do this, and they think it's all about the bucks, and yeah, we need the support in order to kind of get this idea off the ground, but at the same time, backers aren't just a number and a means to an end. It's the community, it's the engagement, learning who these are and developing that relationship. I've made countless of friendships through all the campaigns I've done, and it's really cool to know a lot of the fans of Masters of the Universe by doing this and having that relationship now from the beginning all the way through production and to when we finally deliver. That's going to be real special to see how that evolves, and that it's more than just thanks for the cash, here's your disc. It's way above and beyond that. It's that fandom, it's that community spirit. It's so important.
I would hate to think that people would think that it's about money. And by the way, on one level it is about money. It's money that somebody has very kindly offered to us as a pledge. But
I want to thank Jason, JK, and Ken as well, more backers.
And Diego. But it stops being about money as soon as we start making a documentary, and it's only about making a documentary. All that, in a sense, all that's happened here is transactionally they've allowed us to go and build the thing that they want to see, and that relationship, we're building something they want to see. That's really what it's about, and the facilitation of it through money. It could have been shells. If we could have traded shells for how to go and make this, it would have worked. Mm-hmm. And that's what you start to realize that. And I'm going to go on a little philosophical rant here, but I used to play World of Warcraft, and I would get in discussions with people who would say, the sword that you got is stupid, it's imaginary. And I would say, yeah, but the difference between one pair of pants and another is imaginary. Yeah. What makes one chair better than another chair? If my wife said, oh, I like this chair, but that chair is ugly, that's imaginary. Everything's imaginary in that sense. So the idea that somebody likes the documentary that we're going to make, and they have a picture in their heads, and now we get to go out there and try and create that picture, that's really the interesting part for me. And the fact that they were willing to, they trade however many hours of their day to make that cash that they then entrust to us to help fulfill that vision, that's pretty cool. It's like
we don't take that responsibility lightly.
Oh,
it's a
no,
nice
no,
blessing.
not at all. No.
No, actually, I like it. Funny enough.
Yeah.
It's a good pressure. It's some nice motivation. It's like, you know what? These guys believe in us. We want to do this. It's the perfect kind of marriage of everything together. And I was on the He-Man.org forums just before we went live, and there was a lot of people that really liked the stuff we were saying about our philosophies on filmmaking, how it relates just broader above the canon stuff of what we're looking at for Masters of the Universe, how the creators are important and where they come from and what they can bring to the table, and how that in turn has informed what Masters of the Universe became, and how that's informed people like the fans that we're going to get to feature in the different segments and modules and the end credits and stuff like that. So they're really picking up on that, and they like that we're doing more than, wasn't this great, Yeah,
so what you're saying is people like what some groups would say, or some people might say, overthinking in that conversation that we had. They were liking that we were going that deep. Is that what you're saying?
Very much so. I think it surprised a lot of people, and they realized how serious we were taking the subject matter as a result of putting that much thought into it this early on. When, I mean, frankly, and there's still an hour and 50 minutes, and until that final bell goes, nothing is guaranteed, right?
Mhm.
But they saw how invested we are and our, how we're approaching it as a philosophy. And even though I think it's fair to say that, Rand, you and I are coming from different ends of the spectrum here, both in terms of filmmaking and in terms of how we want to tackle the subject matter, but it works so well from where we're coming from, and I think people identified that. And it's thank you for everybody that listened and is on board with the vision that we've got going here.
Yeah, Mark, do you want to say something? You have hardly had a chance to
that's
speak
all right.
into
Hey,
all
man,
this.
it's pretty tough when we have these good talkers here, good chatters. But I mean, I can.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mark Hussey.
Hi. Post-production usually in the back seat somewhere, but it's nice to be sitting here talking to you all, and whoever's listening and those that are listening later on, thank you very, very much.
It's nice to have you in the big boy chair.
Yeah, man. I feel like I'm in the little boy chair, though. Don't I look like this chair is so low?
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
That's okay. I got a funny story about that. My good friends, not to name drop, who helped me actually as an investor on Nintendo Quest, taught Sylvester Stallone golf lessons. And Stallone's kind of short, so every time they would take pictures together, just before it would snap, Stallone would take one step forward.
Yeah.
You take one step forward just to appear that much bigger. That's what's going on here. Rand is rolling a little bit closer.
Rand needs to,
What?
maintain his public image.
My public image is that I have an enormous swollen head, so I need to keep that going.
Just to contextualize for those who are watching live and put us into our categories here, Rand and Mark are over there in Goderich, Ontario.
If anybody does have comments for those that are watching, post them on the YouTube.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm watching
I was
multi-track.
definitely gonna say that too. Yeah, we
I'll
can
refresh
see.
and we'll get to them.
Yeah, we can definitely see what we're.
We'll answer whatever we can for sure.
We actually do have one comment. It didn't come in through YouTube. It came in via text.
Okay.
And I'll read it to you. It says this: I'm watching. So that's...
It's kind of creepy if you think about it.
Shout out to Rob, who's watching.
Rob is watching.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to someone named Diego who upped their pledge to help us get us a little bit closer. Right now we're sitting at 72,331. I think the magic number we're going for is 75 to hit that last stretch goal. So we're a little under $2,700 before we can do it. We have 106 minutes. If somebody takes that top tier, we're pretty much almost there, which we reduced to 2,500.
Yeah. Maybe we can change it on the fly here too.
Listen to this.
No, but we deliberated that for quite a while before we made that change earlier today, and the reason we changed it, because it's kind of said in the notes there, but we want to do something on Shira, and this helps. Something more. That's what I'm getting at. Like, we're definitely putting her throughout anyway, because it's a big part of the He-Man canon as far as we're concerned. But treating her a little bit special and giving her a special place is a big deal to us. So, if you can help us get there, that's awesome. And
but if you can't, we're still going to talk with Shira. That's the silly part. We just may not build.
That's kind of what I was going to say. Yeah.
We may not be able to build that extra component, but her story's still part of the story.
Oh, the story is still part of the story.
Yeah.
So here's what I really like, and what I'd really like to highlight for people, not to make this too much like QVC, but that $99 tier that we introduced like a week and a half ago, that is something kind of cool that I've never been able to do in any other campaigns. And it's essentially like a 3-documentary bundle of pop culture awesomeness. You get Turtle Power, rave reviews. You guys won a home video award, didn't you, for that?
Yeah, we got Home Video Magazine Award 2014, I guess.
Yeah,
that was
2014.
That's pretty huge because you have a lot of competition with that. I spoke volumes about how many times I've watched it. I think I'm at 27 now.
We beat something weird. Like, I think we actually beat something to do with Frozen. It sounds impossible, but it's true, isn't it?
Frozen.
Like short stories or something?
No, it was like a
Wings or something.
I feel like it was direct. No, it was direct to video best direct-to-video release of
Yeah.
2014.
Mhm.
Okay.
But I mean,
There was
just
something surprising there that we beat.
But there's also
Wait a minute. It was surprising that we beat anything.
Well, I voted because I had seen it by then, and I wanted it to win, and I still love it, and that's the reason that we're working together. So you get Turtle Power on DVD, you get Nintendo Quest on DVD, which is doing really well, and you're going to get the special signed limited edition Power of Grayskull Blu-ray. Guys, there's a reason Turtle Power and Nintendo Quest are on DVD, and that's because it's really hard for an independent documentary to get distribution on Blu-ray.
Oh,
let
man.
alone distribution physical whatsoever. So this reward tier, $99, is super special and one-of-a-kind thing. We have to go through lengths to get discs made of our other films to give to you. We are promising you a Blu-ray of Power of Grayskull that you won't find likely after this campaign.
And it
just
is
won't be out there.
conceivable. This is not it is conceivable that I will have to literally go and buy them on site at Paramount in the coffee shop.
Yeah.
That's going to be a
one
great
of the few
episode
places we've
of
seen
Grayskull.
them. Yeah, it's hard to get Turtle Power. It's not, for some reason, I almost wonder if they didn't make enough.
Well, it could be. I mean, they definitely sold out everywhere that we looked around here. But
the experience that I found, Mark, was sorry, Rand, when you go into the gift shop at Paramount, you have to get one of the employees at Paramount to swipe their tag, and then you get a discount.
Yeah.
So you can buy them out.
Well, you know what? My trick, this is going to be my trick, is I'm going to go and talk to the president of Paramount and say, listen, we made a very, very exciting movie. Perhaps you've heard of it, Transformers 3. And really all we want is
Mark Wahlberg?
Actually, there's a joke there that maybe you don't know this, Rob. I was on San Diego TV during San Diego Comic-Con 2014, and at the inception of the interview, there was a talking head woman, and she was sitting there. She had a little earpiece on, and she started the introduction of Michael Bay. She was talking about Michael Bay, and I was sitting beside her. And I looked over at her, and I looked at the camera, and I looked at the people in the back, and they're like behind the cameras, and they're all going like.
In the lower third said director.
Director of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, who's Jonathan Liebsman.
Yeah.
So I snipped in and caught that. But if I took that clip, I could go maybe into Paramount and get a whole bunch of.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that clip's out there.
You're just going to carry it around on your phone. I like it.
Say, listen, could you maybe, because if I go in as the
like your
director of
invisible
Turtle
badge.
Power, I don't think it's you know.
Rob Boyce says that he'll have no problem to get those discs for you if you'd like.
There we go.
He said that?
Yeah, he commented on the YouTube feed. You guys might have to refresh it so you see all the new comments.
Of course he could get them.
I don't know.
He's an amazing wheeler and dealer.
Yeah, he is a wheeler dealer.
There we go.
That is quite.
There's that coming in there.
I like it.
Rob knows how to do it.
Just in case anybody thinks all this tomfoolery is, it is just tomfoolery. We actually can get Turtle Power.
Yeah, you buy them at Walmart.
Oh no, but
we can order them.
Rand's already talked.
We can order them.
To the people over there.
There's no tomfoolery. There's Rand foolery.
There's Rand foolery going on here. Indeed.
I want to thank Nick who upped his pledge as well. Thanks, Nick. We're a
And
little
by
bit...
the way, we know Nick. Like Nick's from here. That's
great.
Nick, so we can say his name.
Hey,
Yeah, Nick worked with us this past summer. He did some shooting for us.
On
He's
the
a
real
young
documentary.
filmmaker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you, Nick. I look forward to meeting you. That's awesome, and I appreciate it. 100 minutes to go. 72,
Wow.
347. So close to the 75. Can we do it? Mark, what are your thoughts on Kickstarter now that we're almost at the end of the campaign?
Well, I am pleasantly surprised, where we're at with it. I think my story is the same as what Rand started off with. I would have been excited to get to our 25,000. So, what it does is it just kind of proves the hunch that we had. When we were at London Comic-Con, when we put out those He-Man toys, we were starting to get a feeling of, wow, this is like, we had our turtle stuff up, we had the Conan statues, we had some Frazetta stuff up, and Isaac brought all his He-Man toys, and I would say 80% of the people that walked by were just glued to those He-Man toys. And I think, it was like, okay, there's something about this that has even more resonance than some of the things we're working on already. So in a way, I'm not surprised. I don't think I would have been surprised to get to 25,000. Where we're sitting right now, that's pretty awesome. And it shows the passion of the fans, the power of the fans, and like it's already been stated, it puts a responsibility on us that we accept.
I like it.
Yeah, we accept, to know our audience has been stated, and to know that there's people out there that are as passionate about pop culture and the things that formed us, as we are.
Mm-hmm. You know what I like about it is, I don't know if you guys, well, no, Isaac, you said that Rob had played live with Green Day or something, and all of us who have ever performed live in front of an audience, when you have the audience there, your energy goes up. Mm-hmm. When the crowd comes in, even if you've been in a play or something, when you see the people in the seats, it gives you that amp. Okay, mm-hmm. Now this is on. And mm-hmm. if you had, I have the flu. So if you have a fever, you have a sore throat or whatever, when the audience is there, it kind of goes away, it recedes. And this is like that, and that's what I like about it. It may be called crowdfunding, but for me, it's also crowd awareness. You see the people.
Just to sort of, again, I'm going to bring it back to this thing I was saying earlier, is that, to put it in context, the three of us, Mark, Rand, and I, who made Turtle Power, we didn't have this same kind of audience relationship until we got to the point where we were at a few conventions. And Rand, you were actually at an earlier convention before we all did the panel at San Diego Comic-Con. And like you say, then you get this kind of direct feedback loop. But even our Facebook group was, really our only, in some of the fan forums, but that was our only real interaction during the process of making the film, because we had never done a Kickstarter before, the three of us. So like you say, it's like it's a new experience, and it ups the ante, it ups the pressure, but it's a good pressure. It's
okay, I'm going to up the pressure for you guys. There's a fellow named Matthias who has commented on YouTube. He's talked to us a little bit on Kickstarter. He's updated Planet Eternia with the Google Hangout link, which is cool. He says he's pledged $99, but he's nearly convinced to raise it to $199. Here's the pressure. Gentlemen, convince him. I've said, we would love to feature you in this project. Help us make it happen. What's going to be the icing that you guys can layer on this cake to get him on board to jump up from $99 to $199?
Well, he's German, right?
I'm not gonna.
I think we've had. I think this guy hasn't Matthias talked to us about on the Facebook. Am I thinking of the wrong guy?
I think it's the same one from Kickstarter and on Facebook. I believe
you're thinking Marcel, I think, by the way.
No. I think that this guy sent us a Facebook message and talked about.
Just tell us if you're German or not on YouTube, so that Rand can figure this out.
I think he mentioned, yeah, he is. He's German. This is the guy who said he maybe would be interested maybe in translating. Wasn't that the guy?
There's been a couple people like that. This could be him, yes.
So if he's German, he knows full well, I'm sure, he remembers me from when I was in Germany, when I lived there.
I was just going to say that.
He must remember.
He probably remembers when I visited Dusseldorf and went to, was it
Cologne?
Cologne?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Rand, who's on first?
So, and we love Germany.
We love Germany.
We have, in fact, here's a fact about Germany. The walks that this guy and I had.
Come on.
We're planting the seeds for what's happening.
It's not a joke.
Yeah.
Ich lerne Deutsch langsam. Right? Es tut mir leid. Ich spreche nur Englisch, aber ich lerne Deutsch langsam.
I really hope this guy's German.
Oh, he is German. Planet Eternia is one of the biggest European He-Man websites.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, in terms of a pitch, correct me if I'm wrong, Rob, but the big difference, between the 99 and the 200 or the 199 is the bonus features. Am I correct? That's the big difference.
They actually get to appear on film.
Yeah.
Right. So with all the different module contents and the end credits, they get to appear in there. And that's pretty special. They also get an associate producer credit, so their name kind of goes on the back end along with us. They get to say that they're part of the team that made this possible. So $199 is not something we take lightly. And there's only 8 left. 8 of 50 left.
That's right. Yeah, there's only 8.
Wait a minute, 42 people have gone for that.
Mm-hmm.
You got it.
It's pretty cool though, because I mean, in terms of being able to represent these different areas around the world that we might not otherwise be able to get to. So yeah, definitely for people who are from abroad to be part of that.
The guy says he wasn't that guy that wanted to translate, but yes, he is German.
Oh, thank goodness.
And Bob says, hey, congrats on the successful Kickstarter. I'm listening to the stream in the background, but I dig everything I'm hearing, even the German. I'm Bob, the guy who emailed Rob about the animated content. Looking forward to everything.
Oh, wow. Nice.
And
of course, I remember Bob.
Yeah.
I should say
Bob
this:
is a
we have
palindrome.
had a lot of folks reach out to us saying, "Hey, I've got a great skill set. How can I help your production guys? How can I fit in? I want to be a part of it. I want to help." It's really been overwhelming to see the composers, the animators, the translators, the graphic designers, the editors, the production assistants that have come out of the woodworks just to help be a part of this special thing.
Even pen and ink artists, like just straight up artists who are wanting to send us material. And by the way, for those of you who do make that offer, obviously we love it and we think it's great. Please don't be offended or upset if we can't use your material. It's not going to be a decision that we make lightly. Part of the situation is when you're building a documentary like this, you start to see more at the end what's going to happen, and it's so hard to predict where we're going to be. I like, Rob, every time you've answered those people, you've made it very clear that we're far from the finish line right now. We're at the start of the race, so we're not entirely sure where we'll be. But just the fact that those people are making that offer, that's it's awesome in itself.
And you know, and just like we've collaborated right now on this campaign over the last month, you know, we do want to collaborate with people where it makes sense.
It's collaborating time.
So, you know,
stop, collaborate, and listen. Okay.
I mean, there's been, you know, offers for soundtrack, music. There's all kinds of things, and you know, we're obviously we're not going to make any promises.
I will, right? I will make some promises.
Okay.
Yeah, in a few minutes.
But you know, as this comes together, and you know, those of you that are filmmakers out there, know that we go out and we shoot. We have a story arc, we have some ideas and all that kind of stuff, but a documentary like this begins to take on a life of its own. That's been our experience making these documentaries, you know, and as we start crafting it together, then the soundscapes and all of the treatments and all of the things start to kind of emerge out of it. So it may very well be that some of you that have sent your demo reels, you know,
that people
talented
contribute
people, that there could be
a
place
piece
to contribute. Yes,
like people contribute a piece. But what I will promise this. We will not collaborate by ourselves. We'll collaborate.
I like it.
Collaborating is not sufficient in a project like this. You need to find other people to collaborate with.
Well, the beauty of this project too, you know, we had the first stretch goal, you know, which is the 90-minute thing, and we hope to do, you know, what we did with Turtle Power and other films that we're working on. Get the thing that you love to as many people as possible, so that they all of a sudden realize, holy smokes, you're not crazy. I understand why you love the thing.
Holy smokes!
Yeah, well, I just realized we aren't supposed to swear.
Well, it's a family show.
Yeah, so.
Because
a lot of family that's up at 2 in the morning.
A lot of kids are. You know,
well,
but they watch this
91 minutes left, guys. It's
91.
91, double digits. It's all we got left. 72, 347, 1,095 backers. We're still kicking away. Our good buddy Nick, that you guys just mentioned, has reached out and said,
"Yeah, no kidding.
Looking forward to seeing the doc. He loves the teaser. I'm pumped."
Now, when he says the teaser, he means Mark. Doesn't he? Mark is a big teaser. He's always.
I do make a lot of.
He does tease people.
Mark was really good in the teaser when he was playing with the toys on the couch and stuff. Do you remember that? He had really good hair in that too. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people think that it was a young actor that we used who's local, and his name is Cohen Marshall, and it is.
Yeah.
But in a way.
Well, look how little I am.
It's also.
This is why we use Mark, right? Because he's so little.
Like my hands are on the table.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm just responding to some comments here.
No, you keep doing it.
Why don't you guys take a second to maybe talk about a Riddle of Steel and a Gamer's Journey, since those also fall into the definitive films, and maybe you can update us on where those are, what folks can expect from them, because I'm sure there'll be some updates on those two projects since they're a little further down the pipeline, yeah?
They are. What you should never do is watch Mark watch a screen, because the whole world disappears. He has no idea what you just said, Rob.
I heard what you said, but you go ahead and answer.
Okay, I'll answer. Well, we're working on, for those of you that are here visiting or will be visiting later, we have a series called The Definitive History of Fill in the Blank. It's the definitive film series. And there's somebody out there right now who's gritting teeth and angry. It's the frustration. I think Matthias actually listened to you. Matthias listened to you, Rob.
Yeah.
I think he may have upped his ante. The idea behind a definitive film has frustrated some people in the world, because they say definitive means everything. But when we do a definitive film, what we mean is we take a deep dive and we collect everything. Doesn't mean we put everything in the final film, but we collect everything. So,
thank you, Matthias.
Yes, thank you very much, Matthias. The
Confirming it.
collection process is enormous. So, where are we with these other docs? With A Riddle of Steel, we began work on it in October of 2015. Or was it 2014? 2014.
Yeah, it was 2014, and we started shooting in January 2015.
January of 2015, and we collected quite a pile of material. I don't have the total hours of material collected, but what I do have...
I do.
You know the total hours?
I don't know the total hours of raw. Well, I do.
Raw.
I could calculate the raw. But
don't tell that part yet.
Yeah.
Save that.
Yeah,
I want to give a shout out to Brian too. Just sorry guys, he's been sharing fever pitch across Facebook. He's discovering some He-Man Facebook pages somehow that we missed in our research and stuff, and he's putting it out there as far as he can. So Brian, we appreciate it as we kind of race to the finish here with almost 2,500 to go to that last stretch goal.
Wake some people up.
Awesome.
I don't wake. They'll be angry when they awaken. But what I was going to say is the collection process is enormous. So we've been working on Conan for over a year now, and in that process, we've got enough material. We could make a movie right now, but what have we not covered sufficiently? I don't feel that we've sufficiently covered the 1981 movie, 81, 82. I don't feel that we've done our full job there. We really need to go back into that. And, we really haven't spoken much of the 2011 movie. And I think it would be worth talking about. A lot of people like that movie and think that it's very close to R.E. Howard. There are, of course, a group of people that don't, but that's the case for everything. And if there was a movie being developed right now, and if it was going to star Arnold Schwarzenegger, we'd be crazy not to try and focus on those new efforts as well. And, of course, that is the case. So as of this time, Isaac has been cutting a big, nice, fat, rough assembly, and you were cutting it even tonight again, weren't you?
Yeah, I was trying to keep myself awake by cutting it for the past couple of hours, but it's a slog.
You collected how much material? Let's just say it's a rough assembly of pre-selects that we'll go and look at and start poking around in, and you have?
Well, you have to build it nice and fat, like you're saying, first, and then you kind of distill the story down, and there's a lot of distilling. I think when we did Turtle Power, it was already pretty distilled when we did the fat cut, so it was already down to 4.5 hours when we did the fat cut on Turtles. But this one, I came in yesterday at 6 hours and 14 minutes. And I've started working it down from there before we really start poking through it. But it's tough because it's like at this point of the process, you've taken the enormous quantity of footage that Rand was talking about, and already distilled it down with those pre-selecting processes, and there's just a ton of good content. So when you're sitting there looking at 5 to 6 hours of good, solid content, it's hard to imagine how to get it down. It takes a lot.
But luckily, there is one among us with a certain skill set to be brutal, and that is me. Yeah. I've got a nice brutality about me for ripping stuff up, and that'll be handy. And then, of course, there's Mark's skill set of looking for a certain emotional structure, and so he'll be able to tear through some pieces where we need to find a certain rhythmic pattern to the movie, and there might be some elements that feel similar, and we'll have to discard some of those elements. What really is going to hurt, though, is We've got a thesis for that movie. We know the thesis. We know what we can build, and we could cut to that thesis right now.
Oh yeah.
And so we got to just keep it in the back of our minds, because as we take on more information and more material, we have to be able to let those things change, and we have to let that.
That's right.
That shift.
And the key to these films too, and in He-Man included, is that there's always new things happening, even with He-Man. So patience, I guess, is my comment.
I want to thank Darren. Sorry to cut you off there. Who just helped us out. So we're getting closer, guys.
Did you say our parents?
Our parents, all of our parents.
I want to thank our parents for helping us out still.
My parents
Darren.
apologized and said they won't be backing it because they can't figure it out.
Did your parents actually say that?
Yes,
This
they
is
actually.
a good friend of mine too. I don't want to throw his last name out there in case of all that stuff, but he was a major reason Nintendo Quest was successful. And if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have a stop on the Power Tour with the film last summer. So Darren, thanks, brother. I really appreciate you going above and beyond to help make this happen.
Well, good for Darren. Appreciate it, Darren. Just a quick comment about my parents. My mom asked me what Kickstarter was.
I'm sure my mom actually asked me that too.
We told people in the community this is a great way to buy the documentary. There are a lot of people that don't realize that's really what Kickstarter is.
Sure.
Kickstarter is a way to buy something in advance and to potentially get ancillary material with it. So
correct.
It's hard to get that message out, especially, Mark and I, we're in our 70s, so our parents are in their 60s or something like that.
Yeah. It's one of those weird things.
Yeah, it's Tesseract.
Yeah,
anyway, it's hard to get that message out, and we're from a rural area, and I really don't think Kickstarter is well known, so we're working to help get that information out there if we ever want to do it again. And Rob, to answer your question about the other documentary, A Gamer's Journey, The Definitive History of Shenmue, that documentary was started right around the exact same time as A Riddle of Steel, and we're well behind on that one because, surprisingly enough, we ended up getting involved with Weisnet and Yu Suzuki, the great Japanese game developer and game genius, game god, whatever you want to say. So we're actually dealing with Yu Suzuki and his people directly, and the idea that we would just make this documentary was upended when that Kickstarter went crazy back in June after E3. And we've had to go back to zero and really look at all over again what we're going to do. We've shot a bunch of footage. We're working with Adam Scipione. He's co-directing with me, and Adam is a huge lifer Shenmue fan since it first came out back in '99, and he's had to reconfigure his sort of dream documentary too, and we've had to scale that one up and think about all kinds of crazy stuff, and it may well be, and Rob is a great advocate for Kickstarter and for crowdfunding, and as we've discussed even tonight, we've got to try and think of a way to implement Kickstarter into that documentary, I think, too, without making the Shenmue audience frustrated, because think about this. For He-Man, we go to Los Angeles and we can shoot a significant percentage of the people that we need to talk to. But if we're going to make a documentary on Shenmue, we have to go to Japan. And the complexities involved in a trip to Japan for production purposes are, I
a little bit different than going to LA.
Pardon me?
It's just a little bit different than traveling to LA.
Yeah, it is. And by the way, that's getting harder now too.
Well, yeah.
It's getting more complex.
For 3 out of 4 of us.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Brian, who is really just going to the ends of the earth for us, man. He's
He really
messaging.
is.
Thanks, Brian.
He's messaging group admins for us, as you guys can probably see on the comments. He's reached out to our Facebook page. He wants us to hit this last goal, and it's effort like that that's going to get us there. We don't have that much further to go. We're under 2,500 at this point to get there. 80 minutes. If somebody brand new takes that last pledge, that last tier, the 2,500, where you get signatures from as many participants as we got, you're gonna get it, and we're gonna hit the goal. Andrew just backed our campaign, so thank you,
believe
Andrew.
did. Of all people,
No,
Andrew.
Not Andrew. That's my middle name. That's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Thanks, Andrew.
So that's awesome.
Everybody who contributes is awesome.
That's right. Even if it's $1. Or,
Wait a minute. Now we're feeling like a telethon again.
Are we?
Do you love that?
But
like
don't worry, there's still time left. We
guitar.
still have 79 minutes to select
PBS.
the 199
We're getting
tier.
Collins. We're getting Collins right behind us, and we're gonna get.
Mark's getting his guitar. This is very disturbing.
Oh, good. Is Pokeroo gonna be there?
Is he gonna play until we get another pledge?
No, my hucksterism my gene for hucksterism is very poor. I'm not as huckstery as I maybe need to be.
This is what we've resorted to. We're playing Guitar Live on air to solicit pledges.
I don't support this decision.
I don't know if it'll come through though with this microphone. Now a little musical note. I just want to thank all the Kickstarter fans out there.
I may actually start crying.
America, Germany, Australia.
We had a lot of Mexican fans.
Mexican fans.
We're big fans of Mexican people, Mexican food, Mexican culture.
This little song I've been writing. You guys can shut me up anytime. I'm watching the comments.
Can we?
Yeah.
I'm just eagerly waiting for him to get into the chorus. I'm excited.
I was started
Thank
this little
Kevin who spoofed it on YouTube for us. Just saying he's pushing really hard and he's really excited by what we're doing, guys.
What was the name there?
Kevin.
We want to thank Kevin for all.
This is amazing.
You just did a Johnny Cash help there, didn't you? Yeah, he did.
Anyway, there'll be more of that later. I'm not going
a lot of people.
If you like what you heard now, then all you got to do is pledge another $99 for Mark to continue.
I almost want to. Let's stop the Kickstarter. Let's just quit.
If we reach that,
should we?
My heart just skipped a beat there, Rand.
The person
who
made
can take that.
The last donation that tips us over, I'm going to write a very special song for.
Oh, well, we have that to look forward to now.
So I'm making so many plosives. You have to remember, I probably have a temperature of 112 right now. You could, if you were to put a goldfish down the back of my shirt, it'd be like deep frying it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
I like deep fried.
I've never eaten goldfish under those
later
conditions.
on in this telethon, we're going to have a nice
a goldfish
fry.
Mm. Yeah.
All right. What else, guys? What else?
I just want to say, I didn't want to stop the Kickstarter. I find it. I have a phobia, and I want to let it out. I'm actually literally afraid of telethons.
Right.
Like I actually am, and when people get that certain tone, do you remember when you would be a kid and you'd want to watch Monty Python? It would be during like a PBS pledge drive.
Right.
Yes, that's what I was quoting earlier, and you'd always have oh look, we get the Pokeroo doll if we get to phone us in. And there's these people in the background with
Brian Pittman's killing it. Brian Pittman is killing it. Do you see that?
Yeah, man.
Hey, we got $1 from Gary, which is awesome. That just goes to show
awesome.
Anybody can help us. It only takes $1. We get there dollar by dollar if we have to.
Oh, it's true. And it actually is true.
And Kevin is ecstatic that he made the first song.
Oh, all right.
Who's ecstatic?
If anybody else wants a song, I'm telling you, you tell your friends.
You got a message if you want a song.
We got 21 up here now. I know it's because of the song.
Don't make them message. Don't. I feel like, guys, we can't do that to those people. These poor people.
Well, if they want a song, Rand, let's give them a song if they want.
I feel like I might cry on camera.
It's getting late too.
It is really getting late.
There's a guy I saw there. I think it was Bob. He was doing laundry. This goes out to Bob.
Is Bob doing laundry?
I think he was.
Yep.
Did he say that?
He's
Yes.
sheets and his pajamas, and he's getting tired.
Bob is?
Maybe it's me actually.
Bob? I want to reach out to you, Bob. Where are you?
Yeah, he was over
I'm
here.
pretty sure people are going to stop watching if we
It's
keep.
Bob Rosetto.
Yeah,
okay, Bob.
Yeah.
We're gonna try and find out about your laundry here. Let's try and dig into this.
No, let's make this entertaining.
No, he's not doing his laundry.
Oh, okay.
No, he is.
Bob.
It's later. Hey, guys, I want to thank Josh. We have a new backer.
Hey, Josh, thank you.
Josh, if you could just help Bob with his laundry, if you could just somehow reach out across quantum
Well,
entanglement.
I think, just, I mean, if I recall reading, Bob was being entertained. He was listening to us talk while he was doing the laundry. So the laundry probably wasn't a chore tonight. He was probably actually, this is great.
I don't know why you thought he was doing laundry.
I don't know why I thought that.
What he liked was the German. He liked the speaking German part.
I want to get.
Okay, it wasn't
Sorry, I
Bob.
want to just kind of give a special shout out to Josh because he was a backer of Nintendo Quest as well, and I know he's coming in.
Oh, good
And
old
almost
Josh?
The 11th hour to help us get where we got to go in Power of Grayskull. So I appreciate it, brother. Cheers.
Thanks.
Let me ask you a question about Nintendo Power. What's happening with that? You've been putting up a lot of news lately about Nintendo Power.
With Nintendo Quest.
Nintendo Power, the magazine.
Just remember, he has a fever.
I'm,
Amazing.
what you're about to start to see is it's going to get worse and worse.
He's hallucinating already.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you a story. Folks, before Rob talks about Nintendo Quest, not Power, I do want to tell you a story. And this is not an exaggeration.
Somebody pledged to make the story stop.
No, you cannot stop this train. I have, when
Air
I
train
am
to
not
come.
well, I have waking dreams, and I actually have them. And I might, it's possible, and you've said this too before, that you'll blink and have a dream in
Oh,
the
yeah.
blink and
Oh, yeah.
think that it's real.
Yeah.
And you might actually see that happen. And if you do, I would actually like, if there's any neurosurgeons out there that can help us figure out why this happens. Rob, what's happening with Nintendo Quest? There's some good news, and how did that happen? What happened? Target, wasn't it?
Nintendo Quest continues to do well. It is now being stocked online by Target and Best Buy, Barnes & Noble, and some other well-known big box retailers. And the follow-up spin-off companion series that we created for Nintendo Quest, aptly named Nintendo Quest Power Tour, in which Jay and I and the rest of the film team tour the finished film around North America thanks to lovely backers like a lot of the people that are supporting this campaign, has been picked up by a TV station in New Zealand, specifically called The Duke. So they will be airing 8 episodes, the whole series, at least 5 times within a year for that brand new station down there. For those of you that are listening from New Zealand, you guys are probably excited about it. It's kind of like equivalent to Spike TV programming for North American viewers, but it is like the national broadcaster from what I understand. So that's really exciting for us to have that happening.
And what about Old Zealand? Will they be getting any of this, or is it just the New Zealand?
I want to thank Alma for backing us and sending some love our way.
Who is that, Alma?
Yeah, and this is her first Kickstarter as well, and that's a pretty cool thing that we've actually reached so many new backers and introduced them to the crowdfunding process. You guys mentioned that you've done a lot of legwork in explaining what Kickstarter is, what crowdfunding is, and in just a minute I'll give you some stats on how many new backers that we've actually had.
So Rob, you got stuff. I'm sorry. I'm catching up here. Congratulations! I didn't know that the Nintendo Quest
How
is.
did you not know that?
I missed that. It's in
Well, I knew,
stores.
and
We don't even have Targets here anymore, but that's
I
awesome.
wanted to say I was
That is awesome.
I was waiting until this time to congratulate Rob.
Yeah.
And,
So we have, well, thank you guys, I
Alma.
appreciate it. Not to scat along because I'm so obviously comfortable with compliments.
Oh yeah, it doesn't bother you?
No, not at all. Of the 1,100 backers that we've had so far, almost 200 of which had never pledged
That's
on
incredible.
Kickstarter.
Wow.
So almost 20%. I think it's probably 16% ran, something like that. Have never backed before. London in the United Kingdom is our top backing city.
You've
Wow.
got to be joking.
No. And Eric has
London.
just pledged as well. I just want to give a shout out to Eric. I'm going to send him a thank you message really soon.
You said London, the UK.
London, UK, number 1. Los Angeles, number 2. Melbourne, Australia. Dick Waiver.
We've got huge fans. Huge
Yeah.
fans.
And as far as countries, the U.S. is number 1 with 647. Part of that is because we launched in the U.S., so it gets a little bit more traction here. But importantly, 647 is about half of the campaign. So this is just as popular domestically as it is internationally. And if you look at box office for the Hollywood Fair, it's really not that much different nowadays, is it? So that's a really good sign for Power of Grayskull to have that kind of love and support around the world, and it shows the appetite for everything Masters of the Universe too.
I just had one of those little dreams. I just had that right in front of you. When you said appetite, I almost said Judd Apatow.
That's
just
not a
had
dream, Rand. That's just what you
I think,
do.
well,
Judd
when Rob was
Apatow.
talking there, Eric, I didn't catch his,
Eric
catch his
came in.
last name there, but
You're not supposed to say his last name.
We can't say their last
oh, we
names.
can't say that. Well, Eric, anyway, thank you.
Yeah.
And it's
for your
Eric's first
donation.
campaign as well to back, which is fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing that if you're going to be a first-time backer, and you back the first, like it's our first time. It's not yours, Rob, but it's our first time. Then what you're getting here is you're getting a first. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So this is actually a magna first. It's magnifying the firstness of it.
For us, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
We're at 72,686 with 69 minutes. We've actually come a long way in the last 30 minutes, so this is really encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody is out there, please consider just adding $1 to your pledge. I had someone just on Facebook realizing, hey, I can up my pledge, but I don't have to jump up a tier. No, you can just go into Kickstarter, whether it's on your app or your desktop, and manage your pledge, add an extra $5, help us get there.
We can't support our own. Did you know you're not allowed to do that?
Yeah, it's illegal.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting that you can't support your own? And you know what's even more interesting? And I don't know if the people at home know this. And when I say the people at home, that's people or people who aren't at home, right?
Yeah,
there could be people who are at their friends' houses or
like we're not at home.
No, we're at the station. But people who are different places from where we are currently, they might think to themselves, what's going to happen with all that money? It's just in the project. And then thousands and thousands more will be in that project.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, if you want to break it down, let's get like really realistic. That number that you see, Kickstarter and credit card fees take 10% off the top right away. So there goes $7,200, and then shipping, because they include the shipping cost as far as that total raised. That could honestly be as high as $20,000.
In money?
Real dollars.
Yeah.
So, like, are we actually buying a ship, like a full ship?
At this point, we might have to sail away and find sunken treasure, right?
So, yeah, and I did know that. I'm acting like I didn't know that, but I did know that. It's almost a third, isn't it? It's almost a third of shipping is what has been figured.
We could buy kind of a nice ship for that.
Bass boat, I think, probably.
Yeah, nice little one. We could go fishing in.
Made out of bass. I'm talking about a boat made of largemouth bass. And small, because we're not prejudiced against the mouth size of different fish.
Yeah, that is what...
Bob is really happy that he heard someone strumming about laundry not too long ago.
No, yeah.
So Bob really was doing his laundry?
Look at, maybe I was just having a dream. But
no,
I saw
this is really happening.
Man, oh man. Yeah. I'm wondering now, thinking about Bob and his laundry, and realizing that really there are people all over the world, Joe, thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
There are people all over the world at any given time doing some of the same things at the same times and some different things at the same times. How many people have never even heard about this documentary, but then in the end will want to see it, and they don't even know about this?
Yeah.
Just want to throw out there, guys, that Kevin upped his pledge a little bit. I don't know if it was the song that did it, but he upped his pledge. And now we're sitting at 72,729 with 66 minutes left.
66.
place in heaven where Kevin...
I don't know if I'm equipped.
You know the log driver, Mark? I'd love to hear that song.
I don't know if I'm equipped for this, guys.
Rand in his fever dream there. He's having a fever nightmare.
I see a bunch of people just adding $1, which is fantastic. Thank you.
Sean wants to know if we're able to take comments about the content of the special features, and I'm going to tell him yes.
We can take anything. We can take any comments.
Ask us
I can
some
take
questions.
it.
It'd be nice to...
I can take constructive criticism. I can take destructive criticism. I mean, really.
All right. We'll wait for that to chime in here.
Is he putting up a question for us there?
He's going to probably fire another one in. There's a little bit of a delay because he's got to basically comment and post, and then it hits me via email, and then I respond.
Wait a minute. He was doing laundry.
There you go.
I told you. Bob is doing laundry. He's got us on rocking in the background. He's matching socks. He's keeping the whites with the whites and all the colors, all the bright colors together so they don't bleed and tint everything.
I'll say this about Bob. What I want to say about Bob is when other people talk about hygiene and they they say, you know, list of people who don't properly wash their gear. They can't put Bob on that list.
No way. No way.
Bob's not
Thumbs
on.
down on y'all who do that. I don't know what Bob does for a living. No, I do. I do know.
I don't know what Bob does, but I want to thank Jack, our latest backer, and there's been a few other people that have adjusted their pledge. Brian and Mike have done it, and so has Joe. So has John. So has 8-Bit Geek Pro. These are all people that are helping us get there, guys, and they've all added a couple bucks here and there. We're now sitting at 72,808.
Matthias is
65
not
minutes
fooling
ago.
around, Rob. Matthias is not fooling around.
He's got this.
He's getting serious. You know, part of the thing, we should talk a little bit about Germany and why they have such a great love of He-Man. Talk about the cassettes, Rob. That was an interesting story.
Yeah, I was actually.
A lot of people don't know that.
Well, basically, there's a bunch of audio plays out in Germany that had stories a little bit before the Filmation stuff started, so they actually had different voice actors and canon stories that were out there. So we had a bunch of discussions with backers from Germany that were saying they were all really disappointed when I believe the actor's name was Norbert, wasn't cast for He-Man, and they loved what was happening with those audio plays. And now there's a couple projects right now involving those. One, to turn the audio plays into a more modern, contemporary comic book adaptation using that as the script. And of course, this individual that reached out to us is going to help translate based on the old tapes, and he's even linked us to some of those MP3s so that we can include it as part of this documentary, because we don't want to leave anything, no stone unturned on this one, guys.
No turn left unstoned.
Yeah.
That too.
That actually brings up a question I was going to ask you, Rob, is what are you most excited about in terms of exploring content with this doc, like going into this? Not necessarily who are you most excited to be interviewing, but what subject are you most excited to talk about?
Honestly, the new adventure stuff is the thing that excites me the most, because I think, like a lot of people, you think He-Man, it's Filmation and the action figures, the first run. So to getting to talk to a guy like Jack Olesker, sorry if I pronounced the name wrong,
Olesker.
Yes, and seeing what he wanted to do with the series and where that would have gone, and then what was the timeline between New Adventures and 2000X, and what was going on there, what was gestating, what led to the rise and the mutation of that brand, and how did fans kind of sit in that period, because it went dormant for a while, which is not unlike the era that we're in now. So I would like to see what kind of parallels we can draw from now to then, and what we can learn from the past and the history, given that, again, more creators are on board, and they've each contributed different parts to make this machine, this Frankenstein monster that we know as He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
Wait a minute.
Sorry, I'm getting a lot of comments, so I'm a little kind of distracted here, guys.
No problem.
So we are looking at Frankenstein as well. That's an interesting new tie. We know that there is a tie to Conan the Barbarian, but this tie to Frankenstein is exciting for me.
Very.
Well, I personally am very interested in digging into that stuff you're actually talking about there with the German tapes. Is this idea that
Very strange. Yeah.
that there's all these different kind of, I guess, different canons. There's like separate bases for the story, because the little mini comics were separate. The toy lore, even the stories that were being told on the box sets are very different than what ends up in the cartoons and in the movie. So I love that stuff when you have these differences between.
Yeah, what are the differences? Why were the differences made? So why did people deliberately try to change things? Was it outside political reasons? Was it because there was an opportunity to do stuff? Was it for something down the road that maybe we never got to? So, like, where do all these differences, what do they add up to? That's super fascinating. Again, if you listen to the Roast Google Dinner podcast with Randall and myself, we talk about how deep we want to go and examine these differences and what makes the differences so compelling, and basically draw us into those are the things we need to pay attention to the most, instead of just saying, this is great, I love it, yeah, look how cool this is, yay, yay, yay. No, we got to take a step back and really examine piece for piece, but allow the creators from their perspective and let them use their words to describe it instead of ours. That's
exactly key. And I think that it ties back to one of my favorite aspects of the Turtle Power film, which is when we were discovering the kind of how the toy lines could have been, how the cartoon could have been when they were designing it in quite a different direction. So I love that, like unearthing how the designers and how the writers were planning to take it, how it could have gone, but then they changed, and why did they change, and what could have happened and what did happen. I love it. It's a lot of fun to dig and geek out about this stuff.
Mm-hmm. So for me, the most interesting thing is always connections, unanticipated connections. So if we were to find the German cassette thing, that's interesting. Doesn't mean we can dig down as deep as we want to with that. Of course, we can try. But any connections where things overlap or overlay, and you see like the Star Wars link, the Conan the Barbarian link, this new Frankenstein's monster link.
Yeah, this is a very...
I like any time that there's a vertex or an intersection between pop culture elements.
I love that you use vertice to avoid Venn diagram.
Oh, I don't know if I say Venn diagram as much as people think I do. Do I?
Oh man, that's all you say is Venn diagram. Well, I mean,
well, Venn diagram.
There's kind of a Venn diagram here happening, of sorts.
Venn diagram. I don't know that I do, but
no, I'm just kind of kidding.
Yeah, Venn diagram. So,
but I agree. I mean, it's those kind of the stones that get unturned, the things that you don't realize. I mean, that audio tape thing's a good example for me too, because when that came up, I thought that was fascinating, and I went digging after that and saw some of that, and I think I might even made a comment to you guys, maybe there's a way we can get over there and really do something special.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have explored the idea of going to Grayskull Con, which everybody knows.
Exactly. Yeah.
Other than PowerCon, the other staple of He-Man fandom around the world, and it would be awesome to be a part of that. We're not ruling it out.
No, we
won't.
But
like we were saying about trying to predict where things are going and all the moving pieces, we've got to really play that kind of Star Trek Next Generation 3-tiered chess game, with holographic figures. Maybe that's just a little bit of Star Wars.
Well,
that's how complicated this is.
A lot of people don't know about the link between He-Man
under 60 minutes, guys.
Star Trek. But we're going to be able to dig that up.
Yeah.
Under 60 minutes.
Under 60 minutes. Sean wants to know, he says, on the topic of lore, the Power Tour is a missing link from some of the later 86, 87 story points leading to Hero and the Power of Grayskull spin-off that never came to be. Are we going to kind of take a look at some of that stuff? And the Power Tour, which of course Nintendo Quest Power Tour took a cue from, the Power Tour for He-Man and She-Ra is something we want to include for sure. A Songster is exclusive canon character to the He-Man She-Ra Power Tour, so of course it's something we got to consider. And any time that one of these brands gets elevated to a stage show, as you guys know from Turtle Power, it deserves a little bit of attention, I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, the idea of a live show is just so indicative of something that is enormous. That's what I would think.
But also a certain era, wouldn't you say, Rand? Because I don't think they necessarily do the same thing anymore.
Well, they do things that are huge. Like if something's so pervasive, and Frozen is the example, right?
I have two daughters, 6 and 3.
But Disney is kind of...
Yeah, well, they're the best at it, right?
Yeah. But it's no different.
True, but I mean, I think to use a Ben Garant quote from the Turtle Power film, where he goes it would be different if the Avengers of how big they are in the movies had shows and songs about being the Avengers, which Disney, fair enough, it's always been there, but
it's when it's aimed at kids, right? The thing about Avengers is it's not.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if look at what DC's doing, and they have some young Teen Titans stuff, right? I can see them exploring that space. I can see other people looking at it. But irrelevant to what we're talking about, except to say that when there's a live show involved, it means that they're doing every conceivable version of that character and that storyline and the world around it.
And also to take... the trouble isn't the right word, but to put that much effort into going out on a live tour like that also means that there's an audience for it.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the thing that we're digging for. What is it about He-Man, the Power of Grayskull, She-Ra, that struck a chord with so many, young people at the time, kids at the time, that to this day, obviously these, aren't kids that are, well, if they are, they shouldn't have their parents' credit cards, but, there's something that impacted, people with He-Man.
Hey guys, sorry to jump in here. Kevin, our good friend Kevin from 8-Bit Geek Pro and Co. wants to know. He says, man, I wish there was a custom Masters of the Universe figure tier.
Uh,
Good news, there is. There's that
Kevin.
tier. It's on there.
Kevin,
It includes tons of goodies. It's a little bit down on the page, of course, but it's there. You can have the figure made in your likeness,
or
any
ours.
kind of custom character, or ours.
You could get it in our likeness. Collect all 4.
Yeah, you could get it like with Mark. He'd come with a guitar accessory, talking about laundry song lyrics, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it's there, and you can have it from any line, from the classics, She-Ra, New Adventures, the classics line that's out now. I believe the 2000X as well. And it's going to come with a special burst on it that identifies it as part of the Kickstarter campaign, which will never obviously be reproduced again. So that is your chance. Those figures are done by the wonderful Joe Amato, and I got to tell you, Joe has been such a champion for us. Yeah. He's been sharing nonstop. He's been creating custom graphics to promote the campaign. Getting on board as a vendor and for his skill was one awesome windfall to have him. But then to see his passion for everything Masters, regardless of niche or section, he just loves it all, and he wants to share that love with everybody. And I got to tell you, it's been a real blessing. Again, a friendship that we've got to cultivate as a result of this campaign. So from me to you and the rest of the team, Joe, thanks. We appreciate it, man. And we really hope that you dig making those customs, because you're set to make, I think, 9 or 10 of them at this point, which is pretty awesome.
See, that's what had we been able to contribute to our own Kickstarter, I would have gone for that. 100.
Oh, me too. Like,
I agree. I was about to ask you, Rand. I know that you might not know real specific He-Man characters to get, but what would you get? What custom would you get? I would maybe get him to do Conan. I was going to say he should do Conan.
I would get him to do Mira.
Yeah. You in a dress?
Yeah, me as She-Ra. Mira.
With the goatee. Rand in the goatee.
You know, something that I will say, the idea of there being a live show of He-Man, I think I've just thought of something that there wasn't, and I didn't just think of it now, I thought of it before. Was there ever a He-Man on ice? That would be something.
That would be something.
Not that I know of, but I mean, part of this is that, you know, we're learning just as much as people are telling us what they want to see included, right? So I don't know of any He-Man on skates, but you never know.
It makes it Battle Cat's a really hard thing. 4 feet on skates, guys.
Oh, I guarantee there's other 4-footed things. Oh yeah, it's guaranteed.
We have a new backer, which is pretty nice. So we're getting there. We also have a question on YouTube. Sorry to cut you guys off there. Franz wants to know where Sweden stands on the backer list, and I've just checked. They are number 7.
Yeah,
so
Sweden is number 7.
Top countries listed. Sweden is listed as number 7.
That's pretty darn good.
You know, the thing about Sweden is lutefisk, right? Lutefisk. Everybody knows about that.
We're losing pledges now.
Rotten fish. You know about the rotten fish? Lutefisk?
No.
No?
He will.
Nobody knows about that?
I don't either.
Here's my thing about Sweden.
Okay.
As I went to film school with this guy who is from Sweden, and we were all working on films, and we were singing Disney songs as you do. And you know the Robin Hood and Little John song that happens when you're running through the forest?
Nope.
Robin Hood and Little John running through the forest.
Yeah. Okay. And what happens after that, Rob? Okay, give me the oodalolly part.
Oodalolly, golly, what a day.
Well, apparently in Sweden, it's not oodalolly, it is ubenglaben, because you have to change the gibberish to Swedish.
Well, listen, since we're talking about cultural words, which are cultural onomatopoeia, when I was a young man, I would look up...
I should say, guys, there was skating in the Power Tour, but no ice.
Ah, interesting.
But there was skating, like...
So it could have been roller skating.
Roller skating?
They're saying there was skating.
I'm enthusiastic about the roller skating element.
Yeah, very interesting.
But what I wanted to say was, when I was a young man, I read the different things that kids say when they're playing guns, when they're pretending to shoot things, cowboys or whatever, like playing army or whatever kids play. And in French, they say pam, pam, P-A-M.
Right.
But what I thought was brilliant was apparently in China the kids say in chow, so they actually add a ricochet sound. In chow.
Right. Yeah, I get
They
you.
add the echoing. Yeah.
Interesting.
There's some talk right now
Yeah,
about
there's other things like when you call for a cow, you say Kobas.
Cobas?
That's like universal.
there's some talk right now about
What?
that number one pledge, guys, on through Kickstarter. People really want to snap that up. It's maybe
Which
a little
number
beyond
one?
their price point. They don't know yet, but
Which number one pledge?
The
big pledge?
Yeah.
yeah, the signed Rare Eternian Scroll, which would be signed and autograph our poster by as many participants as we can get to sign it. It's certainly a one-of-a-kind item in my eyes. I'm kind of hoping people don't do it, so maybe I can fight you guys to keep that, because it's going to happen, you know?
Oh, it will happen, yeah.
What I'm going to do, I'm actually going to one-up you.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to take a tattoo gun on this trip.
You're going to...
I'm going to have them tattoo me right there.
So if you pledge $5,000, you can get Rand's
The
arm.
limb that I get
You
tattooed.
can get
Yeah.
Rand's back skin sent to you.
Mm.
They might
As a
get-
coat. It's a
Yeah.
coat.
There are a lot of people that don't want that.
No.
But there's just that
This
one.
is coming in. Kickstarter has
We only need that one.
radioed us, and they've said that we're not allowed to sell or give away parts of our bodies.
Oh, it wouldn't be given away. It'd be sold for $1. France says that they're pretty pumped that Sweden's number 7, so that's awesome.
Did you say France said that?
France?
Yeah, Jason, we got a new backer. Thank you, Jason, for supporting.
Jason's in, is he?
He is.
Jason.
He's
Well,
in.
I wondered if Jason. You know what they say? They
Well,
say
where's his song?
it'll
Where
be
he
the
has
last.
that song?
Let's get a song. Can we get a song about Jason backing? And I don't want to give too much away, but he took the 3-disc tier.
Here,
That's the basis for the
just back
song.
up a bit here.
3 for 1. Let's rock this.
Is this Jason's?
This is Jason. Here he is.
Well, Jason, he just came in at the last. But it says in the good book, the first shall be the last, or the last will be the first.
We are now at $73,012 with 47 minutes to go.
Yep.
Yeah, Jason first.
Jason last.
He had some golden fleece. Yes, he did. Over there. That inspired me.
Yeah.
It's a story.
It's pretty good.
Big time. Big time. Jason and the Argonauts. For those that don't know, Jason and the Argonauts was probably hugely inspirational.
100%.
Mm.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I can see
Jason.
that.
We have no evidence of that, by the way.
Yeah, but you never know, and that's the beautiful thing about documentaries.
Oh, with something like Hercules leading a
Exactly.
band of memorable characters, you got to be able to draw parallels between
I
that
think
and
so.
Masters of the Universe.
Well, you know, if you think about the way the He-Man characters were designed, they certainly do have archetypal elements,
Mm-hmm.
like the different creatures and the
There was
like
actually a comparison to the Universal movie monsters, and somebody did some custom figures as well, because you got like Merman, Creature from the Black Lagoon,
What's
Trapjaw a little
Tri-Face?
bit like Frankenstein,
What's Tri-Face's
Skeletor's the
name?
Mummy.
What's Tri-Face's name?
Trapjaw?
Triclops? No, he's
Triclops?
saying Triclops.
The one who's had the action
Yeah.
figure they used to turn the.
Well, there's Manny Faces, which has 3 faces
That's the one I'm
inside.
talking about. Manny Faces.
Yeah.
That's like Janus, the two-faced god,
Yeah,
potentially.
I can see
right?
that.
Did you say
For the-
Janus?
For those of you just
Yeah,
tuning in,
Janus.
we're just-
Janice. Janus, the two-faced god. I tell you, on Sticky Bun Day, she gets wild with a capital dub, if you know what I'm saying.
I was just going to say, for those of you just tuning in, I just want you to know that 3 of us are over here on the East Coast, which it's
Mhm.
now 2:13
Mhm.
a.m., and
Mhm.
2 of the 3 are, well, older and are not used to staying up this
Mhm.
late anymore.
One of
Oh,
them is
nonsense!
also
You guys are doing fine.
one of them
Okay.
is also heavily medicated.
And that was the fever. Him. So our apologies.
So
for
Rob,
our
we've got
looseness here.
what do we got? 5 people who are coming to visit us for the screening down in.
Yeah, well, that's
Oh,
curious.
yeah,
That's a
great thing
curious,
to talk
George.
about, yeah, man.
That's curious.
Well, not just 5. I mean, we have everybody from that tier and up, I believe. comes as a participant to the premiere. So
Holy
we got.
But they have to find their own way. They have to make their own way.
That's true.
I'm
They
afraid.
Travel
So
and lodging isn't part of it, but we got 5 who took the $3.99 tier. You know, we haven't opened up any more spots on that. We haven't opened up any more, even though some people have been itching to maybe be a part of that.
Have people been itching?
Yeah, there's been some scratching.
So, you know, part of the problem is
14, 15 possibles.
It's very risky, and when you have an event like that, boy, I don't even know what to say. Like it's complex. I don't want to see those people come there and be disappointed when they see how big or small or how not or something we are. And
I mean,
so here's an option, maybe, guys. And we're hashing this out live in front of everybody. Okay.
This right now.
Yeah, we have 6 spots left on the $7.99. That includes a spot to watch the premiere in LA. But we have no spots left on the $3.99.
Right.
Do we want to maybe switch one over?
We could.
I'd say switch a couple over.
Yeah. It seems risky. Like I was saying, it seems risky.
I don't know.
But I mean, listen, it'd be, if people are interested in coming.
I'm going to switch one over, just one.
Okay, Rob.
Just to see what happens. Let's open up the $3.99 tier.
Have we
see if we can. Here we go.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
We've reached quorum.
Yeah. I already switched it.
You did? It has been swatched? Wow, that was an uncomfortable silence.
It was.
It was. Yeah, we were all checking to see.
Something.
Does we have a question?
I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I don't like the uncomfortable silence. That it's been my curse in my life to have to try and fill those with usually prattle.
It's been switched. It's been swapped.
Oh, thank you, Rob.
Wow.
5.
Oh, there's another slot there open.
That is something. Who do you think would jump in there?
I don't know, but I'm going to message some people on Facebook now.
It would have to be somebody local to Los Angeles, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
The City of Angels.
Well, yeah. I mean, unless, I would say
someone was independently wealthy and just felt like they would travel wherever.
Or they're coming to LA anyway.
I don't know. It's not. There's lots of areas around LA, or it's like not that expensive to travel to LA from.
Listen to you.
Most parts of the country. Come on now,
Isaac.
What?
How dare you?
Something
that people, while you're in LA, there are a lot of really exciting opportunities.
I want to thank a couple more people too who have upped their pledge. That's very nice of you to make that happen. We are now sitting at $73,036. 41 minutes to go. We opened up one tier left on $3.99.
He opened up
the sacrifice of a possible action figure for someone.
A sacrifice. Yeah, but you know what I was going to say? There's a lot of talk right now in Los Angeles about this Harry Potter world in Universal. You know, so you were one of those people that was really planning to go to that, and you wanted to go during the time that we have this screening.
I want to thank Christopher, a new backer. Sorry.
Great opportunity.
So,
Christopher?
Rand, I think what you really want to say is for those who want to go to, we all know, guys, if you go to LA, there's only one reason you go to LA, and it's a small green and yellow hut in a parking lot.
PowerCon? No, PowerCon is this massive thing.
Is PowerCon held in a hut? No. In a parking lot?
I think it's an Eternian establishment.
I don't think Val would be able to fit quite as many people in that as he would have hoped.
Well, listen, I'd be happy if PowerCon showed up at Cactus Taqueria. I mean,
guys, for those people who don't know what Isaac is talking about, one of the fringy benefits, or fringe benefits, if you soften the G, one of the fringe benefits of working and shooting in the Los Angeles area is, of course, some of the most incredible and delicious food opportunities.
Oh, fantastic.
It's as far as the whole movement around the food truck, I think that's a very LA thing, and maybe that's where it got its start.
Yeah.
And we're big fans of some of the particular foods that are offered in Los Angeles, Mexican food. and we're not supported in any way by Cactus Taqueria, but that
I thought
place,
they were
if you-
getting an associate producer credit.
you know what? I would personally, I would give them an associate producer credit.
For one
But-
burrito.
No, just for the good work that they do.
Oh yeah.
Have we ever been there when there haven't been other people wanting to eat there?
Oh yeah. It's always a line.
We have a question coming in on YouTube, guys. Do we want to answer it?
Yeah,
I do.
probably answer it.
I can't wait to answer it.
There's two questions actually, and they come from James,
they about
who's
food?
from the UK.
Mm-hmm.
He says, firstly, concerning content, will the main theme tune or even a selection of music from the original series be included with the Blu-ray or DVD editions?
Well, that
That
is a tough question. I mean,
That's a tough one. Shall we tell a story, an anecdotal
we
story?
can tell a story about
well,
that.
what I'll say, it'll all get down to licensing and things like that when it comes to actual music.
We have people that are
Um,
saying they wish they could come to LA, but they live on the East Coast.
Right.
Sorry. carry on.
I feel their pain.
Mhm.
And again, we don't know where we might end up. It's possible something could happen to the East Coast as things progress and all of this kind of thing. Back to the music thing, we'll have to go down that road of seeing where the licensing is with the music. Sometimes when we do projects like this, we find that music is tied up in legal things and it can't be used. We also discover that maybe the performance rights are there, but not the mechanical rights and things like this.
Publishing rights are available,
Yeah.
not performance rights.
Or
If you're
vice
lucky,
versa.
yeah, if you're lucky.
Yeah, so what
Had two other people just up their pledge, which is super helpful as well, guys. So I want to give a big shout out to my buddy George and Moto as well. Moto does some awesome custom glass work. You got to check it out. And in fact, I'm trying to maybe work with him on some stuff for Power Grayskull. And George is a good buddy who has backed Nintendo Quest a lot, and he's taken a big leap of faith on this one. So I love it.
But just to finish up the music thing, what we can promise is that the music will be an homage, or it will represent.
It'll feel.
It'll
feel.
It'll create the emotion that's necessary.
Well, you're talking, Mark. You're talking about the music in the actual film, which is like the
Yes.
the movie
So here's
music.
the thing, right, guys? I think the question specifically is, are we going to package a separate audio CD that includes this?
I totally missed that somehow.
Oh, are we going to have an audio CD of the music?
Yeah,
of
will
the
it be
documentary?
included with the Blu-ray or DVD? We don't know if we can use it within the film, so in how we use it in the film, too, very
If he's
specific.
asking specifically about the music that will be like that we would create or someone would create for the film itself, that probably
We can
will
make
be
it
something
available.
that will be available.
Yeah, but as far as the original stuff, that's a very
That's
tricky area, as you guys learned from Turtle Power.
It is the
We
worst.
did have a lot of people telling us, if you do use that music, make sure there's a 4% pitch difference
That's
because
right.
of
That was a
PAL
very interesting
master
thing.
to the
Yeah.
NTSC stuff. The second question, guys, from James as well is, after the definitive history of He-Man is finished, are there any other hints to future titles under development? Haven't seen anyone do definitive Transformers as a suggestion? Question mark?
Interesting.
Question mark?
So,
Two
I've
other
sat-
people just
I
up
have-
their pledge and want to say thank you to them because we are sitting at 73,165 now with 37
Wow.
minutes to go.
who is it that asked about Transformers?
James.
Who do I
This
hear?
is James as well.
James, I have sat in a room with someone who said, yeah, that would be great. And I thought that this was years ago even, wasn't it? I thought it was going to happen at 2014. Early in 2014, sat in a room and would have thought that it was happening, and just many big companies involved, and some of them
Hey
don't
guys,
feel it's
someone just
necessary.
took that 399 pledge.
How
Oh, wow.
dare?
So that's 73,365.
Wow. So who's going to join us at the screening?
I don't know. We don't see who pops up. Let's see who's coming. Oh my goodness, nothing's popping up. The suspense is killing me.
But not to say that Transformers couldn't happen.
It still might happen, yeah. So just to jump back to it, yes, it's been pitched. For most people, if you think of a potential subject for a documentary, you can bet it's on a list, and you can bet either we've talked to someone about it, or that we've tried to figure out a way to talk to somebody about it. It's not very often that someone, in fact, I would challenge you to suggest something that either we haven't thought about or tried to
We
go
played
through.
this game once.
Yeah. But you know what was the winner? Do you remember? You said it.
I don't remember.
I'm just
Oh,
looking over the right
Mask.
side of
Mask.
Mask.
That's
I want to thank Anthony too, another new backer.
Don't
I'm
call
saying-
him a noob.
70,
I
another
want-
new backer. We're at 73,414 with 35 minutes. Less than
Look at you.
1,600 to go to hit that next stretch goal.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's hard to believe.
It is.
You know, when I
It's-
think about all these people, and I think about the fact that we're literally nagging them right now, and they're responding so kindly to us.
Well, we appreciate it. You know,
Yeah, we
something
do.
that people maybe don't know, you know, about how we've done these films.
Oh, we're very, very shy. Is that what you were going to tell them? How shy we
How
were?
shy we are. But what I was going to say, you know, the collaboration here, you know, the financial help here, you know, which
Hey
is,
guys, sorry to
Go
jump
ahead.
in with
Oh, yeah,
questions
please
from
do.
one of our tiers here.
This just in.
This just in. Can we go into some more details about the 199 pledge? I apologize. This comment is about 5 or 6 minutes old, and time
Oh.
is of the essence, as we know here.
What is the comment?
about the
They're
199.
questioning.
But
They want to
199
know.
pledge. Can we
more
go into
details.
some more detail on it? I'm just
Oh,
bringing
yeah.
up the page right now, so
Yeah,
we
we
can get
totally
right down
can.
to the nitty gritty.
Both nitty and gritty should be referred to in this next thing that you say.
So time is of the essence. So appear in the end credits or segment with a Matu memory plus an associate producer credit plus signed special edition Blu-ray from filmmakers plus bonus content plus animation cell from Masters of the Universe cartoon plus 8.5 by 11 poster print. Name in the end credits as a backer. So let's break this down. Participation in credits subject to mutually agreed times between participant and filmmakers. We may have to interview over Skype if you're not somewhere in person like PowerCon or somewhere along our travels. What this means is, guys, and correct me if I'm wrong here, you get to appear in a segment either in the film, the subsequent stretch goal content we've released, or some other combination of material that is part of this whole project.
That's true.
Correct.
I agree with
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
Yeah, that seems about right.
And we're being broad and very conservative because we don't know what you're going to say. We don't know where we're going to need it. So we can't handcuff you to saying
No.
you're going to be at minute 122 talking about this character or something.
Well, the important thing, and we hope we've gained the trust of the fans here, is we can't just insert something for the sake of inserting it. Our purpose here is
Find a
to
way.
tell the most complete, definitive story, that satisfies, the story. That is the story, and not compromise that in any way. So keeping it vague, maybe seems vague, or broad is a better word, because we have the luxury in this scenario, and we should remind people too that this is like the one and only time you're ever going to be able to get the extended features, all of the extended stuff.
This is the last
This
time.
is
If you're
the
not
only
supporting
time
the $39 tier or higher, you will not get the fan cut special edition. You will be stuck with the retail distribution, broad audience friendly version.
Well,
It's
here's
gonna
the
be
thing.
good,
Here's the
but
thing.
it's
So
not gonna
Will it be good though?
It's not going to
that'll
be
be good.
special.
Oh, okay.
No,
Good.
here's the thing is like when we were talking about this earlier, a couple hours ago, when we're talking about the fact that with Conan right now we're sitting at this 5 or 6 hour cut, and when we had Turtles, we had a 4.5 hour cut, and a lot of people said like we really want to see, a 6,
They did
7,
say
8
that.
hour film, and so there's a lot of specific fans that want that, but obviously the general populace, the general public that are going to buy DVDs or see this on Netflix, they don't want to sit through 4.5 hours of content. So this is your opportunity to have guaranteed access
It's
to
your
that.
Eternian opportunity.
It is, because that's the thing is that when we you potentially make a distribution deal, we have no guarantees that they're going to take any of the bonus stuff, any of the cut scenes, any of that. This unlike our other films is giving you the exclusive opportunity to be guaranteed access to everything that we get.
Yeah.
James says thank you for answering his questions.
Which one? Which one
Both
was
of them.
did he like? Which one?
The music answer, of course.
I just wonder which one he best liked answered. Which answer he thought was best.
In fact, this is
there's
just
a question, guys, about how are we going to tackle Roger Sweet and Mark Taylor in the Creation Saga. Are we interested in painting drama, or that will that be avoided in this documentary?
Well, put it this way: the only drama that we would look for is the drama of people saying what they think. Like that, we're not looking for drama. We're not building drama. We're not seeking any kind of negativity whatsoever. If people say things that are in opposition or contradictory, that's what it is. That's what it says. The drama is in the head of the person who's watching, who feels like, I agree with Tom, or I agree with Bill, or I agree with Doris, or whatever.
Yeah, I like the reading between the lines aspect too. Like, here's what one person says, here's what another person, here's a third and fourth. You kind of get to decide for yourself. We're
not editorializing a kind of imposition of one view or another view. That's not the point of this.
We have one focus, and that focus is multifaceted, but it's He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. And everything that surrounds that. Yes, there's obviously the human story and all of that, but more so, there's this, it's why we called it the power of Grayskull. There's this, what is it about this character, and the adventures he went on, and his friends, and Skeletor and She-Ra.
Aren't you the best? I love it. The adventures of He-Man and his friends.
He-Man and Skeletor and the picnics and the different play games and
point.
Well, it's like the myth. You could shorten it to the mythos of it.
the mythos of it. The drama around it. I mean, like Rand says, if we'll let people speak to it and we'll edit it, but we won't have it. We aren't going to try to craft it one way or the other.
The answer is no.
The answer,
no.
We try to be as objective as we possibly can.
Well,
we will be objective.
The objectivity is that this is what people say, and that's what they say.
Yeah.
We're not building a story. We're not crafting a story that focuses on any kind of contradictory structure. So, why do people ask that? There is another He-Man documentary, and that maybe that documentary has more of that in it.
There's
and if
two
that's
other
what you
ones.
want to see, go. That's exactly right. But if you want to see one that focuses more on that documentary's there, and that's great. And we don't want to retell that story.
No.
We have a totally different, we have a different focus. Our approach to the same kind of information is a different approach.
And I think we can all say, as fans
choice.
of all this stuff, there's room for more than one version. Let's see more. Our good buddy Tommy Avalone is doing ghost heads right now, and he's worked with the guys on another Ghostbusters documentary that's up there, cleaning up the town, and they're both awesome. We got John Carroll, who's doing Playtime Masters, and we couldn't be thrilled, to see him go and what he wants to do with that, and meet up with him at PowerCon. It's gonna be fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I just found out about that other documentary too, and I look forward to meeting those guys. And it certainly.
As a matter of fact, we have met them.
We have.
We've met one of them, and I don't think he realizes it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when we went to go see.
When we were shooting Conan.
We were working.
To me, it goes there. But to me, it works like this: can you have too many hamburgers?
No.
If you like hamburgers,
Mm-mm.
then you just like to have more hamburgers. You might not eat them all at once.
And it doesn't take away from that story, because that's intriguing. The story that
The number of hamburgers?
I have 8 documentaries over here, just around the corner, of video game history. They all cover the crash in the early 80s. They all cover the emergence of Nintendo and the console wars in the 16-bit era. I love them all.
Yeah. Catch them all.
Catch them all. Sean has a question about the extended content not on disc. There are a lot of documents that, and then it kind of trails off. What are we doing? How much are we fitting on the disc? How much are we not fitting on the disc?
Sorry, reiterate the question.
Is he talking about the actual physical?
I don't think it's
disc,
complete. Question about the extended content not on the disc. There are a lot of documents that.
Documentaries is probably meaning to say.
I'm looking for Sean's
the way
question.
that YouTube's bringing it up isn't being super friendly, so I apologize. Let me see if I can reload it here.
I'm reloading. Reloading, Sean.
On YouTube or on...
I may even find it in my email.
It says here. Show more. Click. Guys, I'm now doing sound effects.
Here we go. I got it for you guys.
Okay, bingo.
Content not on this. There are a lot of documents that shine the light on the history of the franchise, preliminary story notes, style guides, series, Bibles. What are we going to cover?
I see what you're saying. He's asking about, are we going to include like all of that kind of almost documentation stuff in the bonus features? Is that what he's asking?
I think so.
Or I mean, like, we try to collect as much as we possibly can in terms of documents. Now, whether or not those appear on their as standalone folders, maybe not, because that's using them. It's using them in a different. It's using them in a different way, if that's what he's asking. But I mean, we definitely use them as much as we can in the film itself. And then, if those sections in the film that say go in deep on, say, a series Bible or a character breakdown sheet, if that is too inside baseball for the main film, then sections like that will make it into the bonus features for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. If he's asking specifically, there'd be like actually, hard copies of like JPEG folders and things.
Yeah,
like
is
that.
it a goal to bring some of these fans?
Well, one that I guess it gets back into licensing and things.
Yeah,
like
it's a
that.
licensing thing. Is what they're supposed to be used
It would not
for.
be something we'd be allowed to do, but within the context of the film, of course, we can. Even through fair use and things like that. So, to just reiterate what Isaac just said, we're going to use as many of those documents.
Guys, I'm starting to sweat. There's 23 minutes left.
Wow.
73, 414.
Did you say you were starting to sweat?
Oh yeah, starting to sweat because we're getting down to the wire here.
He's got a T-shirt on. He's in Vegas.
Yeah, like $1,500 almost towards our goal.
That is
Oh, that's
really
cool.
really close.
So close.
The reality is, guys, the fans have spoken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They don't want it. They don't want it.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
They can't. I mean, they can only do so much.
Oh,
right?
That is true. I mean,
These poor fans.
We're
These
humbled.
poor fans.
No, not poor. I mean, we're
Now.
humbled.
I'm not
We are
throwing in the
humble.
towel yet. They still want it. I know some people are looking for their debit card. They're trying to find a pledge to go up one little more. Someone's gonna grab an action
Do
figure.
you really think, Rob? Do you think they could? Do you think that there's a fan who's just sitting there, just on the edge? Is that what you're thinking?
I feel like this is going to happen. I really, really feel like we're going to hit this. And I'm going to have to race to get that new graphic up in there before the campaign closes, which with the robustness of this interface.
The robustnity. Yeah. The robustation.
Yes.
Yeah.
What if you couldn't find your debit card
we're
right
so
now?
close to the
that
number.
would suck.
I know where Rand was going with this. Like, the fans have spoken. Like, this is all going to happen. But there's something about completing the journey here, that has power. Just to say that we collectively, the fans, us, have collectively reached a certain goal, is important, I think. So I encourage you all to keep sharing that love out there.
I should say, too, for the animation cell tiers, people have been asking, how are we deciding who gets what in what order? They start at $75 and go up, and I think they're included in every tier after that. We're starting with the highest tiers and giving what we feel is the best in our estimation to the highest backers first, and it's going tier by tier. So if everybody is pledging the same amount in each tier, say everybody has pledged $75, well then it's first come first serve.
Yeah.
But if you're crafty and you've selected the 75 tier, but maybe you pledged $78. Then all of a sudden your name goes to the top of that list when we get to handing out the cells for that. So it's another way to throw a couple bucks in the little kitty pot here and get a better cell for yourself and help us get to that goal, less than $1,600, 21 minutes, 1,100 backers strong. I've already done this. You guys can throw another $1 in here before Mark plays another song called A Dime and a Nickel Ain't Gonna Get You a Sickle.
Oh, yeah.
What?
And a nickel.
I don't know this.
Nickel ain't gonna get you sickle.
Not a real song.
Yeah, but
I do.
Please, someone back us before this continues.
You want fever? No. I got a fever.
I just keep I can't believe we're still awake. I can't
20
believe
minutes.
you guys are awake.
Hey, man.
No, we are going to pay hard tomorrow.
It's true.
I know, right? Oh,
Mhm.
But you know, it is actually a lot of fun and it's exciting. Especially, you know, I didn't anticipate so many people coming online asking questions and even watching.
I have a question for them.
Yeah, go ahead.
What makes one animation cell better than another? How about that? Riddle me that.
We'll do.
Look, I even lean back all confident and stuff.
Should I answer that one?
yeah, go ahead.
Don't just say the obvious. Don't say one has He-Man and one has like Larry, the guy who was in the background of that one shot. Don't be saying that.
No, I won't be saying Larry.
Larry. We all know the Larry cell is the best cell.
I would pick that one first. Actually.
Well, the tough thing is that, like you're even alluding to right there, Rand, is that it can be subjective because there can be very specific reasons why you like, even if it is Larry in the background of that shot, because guess like maybe that was your favorite episode, or it's the one you remember when you were a kid and you really love the part where Larry was there. But then there's also, I mean, if you're just gonna like, aside from the obvious, which character is, there's some that are more rare than others, like the Sorceress is a pretty rare character to have an animation cell. A rarictor. Because she's a popular character and not often seen in the show. But there's, I mean, for me, it would be kind of compositional. Is it a good composition? Is it like even this cell behind me is not, and I'm being picky, is not the optimal moment in that animation shot, if you ask me, because
I gotta disagree.
sort of over there.
Because Kevin has chimed in via YouTube. He says nothing. They're all equally as great, and I like that because
Kevin,
that makes our decision process a lot easier.
You have made it a lot, because it seems like I might end up having to get them.
I can see the guitar getting ready for Kevin's song. Here we go.
Kevin. No, it's okay.
It's the same song, Mark. You gotta do a different song, buddy.
Uh-oh.
I've got a theme going here. What people don't realize is that actually these songs are
These are the
soundtrack.
soundtrack.
This will be
yeah.
the soundtrack for the.
So whoever was asking
We
whether
just got another bump up too, guys.
I saw that. What a lot of people don't know is when we make these documentaries, all of the music is composed like this, with Mark on a guitar just singing
With a Google Hangout as
in
inspiration.
a Google Hangout, and then we just put that straight on. Like if you watch Turtle Power, it doesn't sound like it.
Yeah.
It sounds like a lot of different instruments and stuff. It's
But
just
it's really this.
It's just one take, playback from
Yep.
beginning to end.
You know what's funny about when we were in that pickle when we had to re-record the theme song for the Ninja Turtles cartoon,
It was a huge deal.
and we had 10 hours to do it.
Yeah.
And Mark also had the flu when we tried to do that. And Ruben, my brother, and I sang a bunch of the song, and Mark's brother sang some of the song, and then Mark tried to sing the song, and he was pretty sick.
Yeah.
Hey guys, just to jump in here, Sean's question about the Bibles and the other documents that document some of the process. He's wondering if there's a way to put PDFs on discs or make them accessible online in some sort of repository.
That again, that comes down to rights clearances.
Yeah, right.
And speaking of coming down to, we're only 17 minutes to go. 73,440 now.
Segway Man.
That's
We're getting
that's
close.
Rob's character.
We would
16 minutes to go. Master of Segways.
The thing about segways,
Peter Laird used to love them. He loved those
if
segues.
an average American sees that word, do they say Segway?
What else would they say?
Well, I just don't know. Like, because the American language isn't as tied to the French as the Canadians. So when we would see the word Segway, we might go, "Oh, yes, of course." But we've taken so much French in school.
Right. I imagine they just see a lot of two-wheeled vehicles.
Steve Wozniak.
Yeah, and Leo Laporte.
Peter Laird.
73,440.
So what do you think, Rob? Are you still feeling pretty positive about this?
I don't know. I think he's thinking. He's sitting there waiting for somebody to just get that top one, that top
Like,
tier.
Somebody has to take
Don't
that
be
top
frustrated
tier.
now. Don't be frustrated. Like,
I know, I'm excited. It's that nervous
you're
energy.
right.
I'm just waiting. It's Christmas Eve.
It's
It
like
is?
Christmas Eve.
It's
Yeah,
always
our
Christmas.
good friend Brian, by the way, who'd been posting on
Mhm.
Facebook, has since been blocked by Facebook for spamming our link around.
Oh no.
That's how much sharing that guy has done. Thank you so much, Brian.
Oh, Brian, I'm so
He's
sorry.
just commented with asterisk praise to hit the goal.
Oh.
So, are you telling me that we have just gotten Brian kicked off
Facebook.
Facebook?
Yeah, he
will
lost
not
his
be able to
account.
participate in Facebook activities for a while, so
Oh,
we
Brian.
appreciate it.
Brian.
So sorry.
But
This
thanks,
rare
Brian.
Eternian scroll, though, these people don't really hang out all that often like maybe they used to.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of 2000X signatures next to a lot of Filmation signatures,
Well,
next to a lot of Toy Sculptor signatures, next to
Mm.
New Adventures,
Not
and
to
everything in
mention,
between.
not to mention, a
And
lot
we
of these people are older than Mark and Rand, which is
Yeah.
Is that
So just-
possible?
I don't know if it's possible,
Very
but
That's insane!
they're not going to be around forever,
We did
and
some-
some of them aren't around
That's
anymore.
really dark, Isaac.
And it will be a one of a kind, that thing.
The
You know,
shirt?
No,
The shirt?
Well, I'm thinking
It's not a
of the
shirt; it's a
but-
poster.
but
No,
the
no,
poster
no,
that gets
the
signed.
shirt.
But I am going to reference the shirt,
shirt.
that
Yeah.
we took around with the Turtle
We?
Power documentary, and had signed by everybody. And the thing,
Mhm.
for us to have that, is something that's
Mhm.
really, really special. And we had to think long and hard before we put this up as a Kickstarter thing, because it's kind of a memento that we like to keep, ourselves, because
Yeah.
it's special to us. So we're putting it out there for somebody if they want.
This is
Bob, you guys, you
this is a-
didn't even see that Bob made a comment.
What
He said that animation cells done by the animators and key poses should typically be better,
right.
which is what Isaac was alluding to, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Before I cut him
long-wind-
off, because there's only 14 minutes to go!
I've got my long-winded answers. This is me discovering this question on here. What do this is maybe a bad question for live, but
Oh
what?
my goodness, hang on!
What?
Hang on!
I feel like I've been nose breathing into the mic too
Hang
much.
on!
Hanging.
What's going
It
on?
just passed 75. Somebody took the top
What?
tier.
No way. No way.
100%.
No way.
75, 955.
Oh my gosh. What
What
happened?
just happened there?
Oh
Let
my
me
god! Just what I was about to
go.
ask. A
I
big
gotta
question
find-
about it.
I lost
We
my
did
mind.
it! Okay, I'm
No,
going to
we
update
did
that
not.
to the graphic.
Yes, we did.
No.
We did. We did. We did. We did.
No, we
did.
didn't.
75,
I know.
955. Holy
No,
crap!
we didn't.
Who was it?
Holy crap!
Oh my goodness. 75,955.
No, we did not. You guys are playing a game.
We have to.
No,
I
we
gotta
did
see.
not.
Oh my gosh.
What?
This is insane!
Wow. No.
Thank you so much.
I wish I
Thank
could scream, but my
Wow.
wife will be really angry.
Well,
Oh my goodness.
and you know what? It was his first time backing.
That's amazing.
No.
Sufyan.
Sufyan, we can't even believe it.
That's
Brian
amazing.
is flooding us
amazing.
with comments on Kickstarter since he can't comment on Facebook.
Wow.
He's
Brian.
loving it.
Wow.
Sufyan has really. I
Stepped
can't
up.
even believe it.
Stepped
amazing.
up.
I'm just absolutely shocked.
Well, you have to.
Now, Rob, when you send a message to Sufyan, you please let him know how shocked we are.
And also, how
Appreciative.
appreciative we are.
And we would love to, if
Well,
he's
you know
willing
what?
to share his email, we'd love to send him a personal email and
But here's
just
the
thank
thing.
him.
Here's
Can we
the
play
thing.
him a song?
You know what? He just joined to do this.
You know, with 10 minutes to go, and you know what's really cool about this is that we get to if he makes it down. Okay,
No,
if
I'm
he
not
makes,
singing, I'm just playing background music.
I know,
Well,
but
nice
it goes
guy.
to you when you do that though, because of the sound.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. If he makes it down to the screening, that's pretty awesome because then we get to meet him and shake his hand and thank him in
Yeah,
person.
what a super nice guy. Holy
Mhm.
smokes.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know if it's a guy. That's
No,
sexist. I am so
In
sorry.
person.
I'm so sorry.
Well, thank you very
man
much.
or woman.
Um,
That's amazing.
and that will be a very special thing that you will.
We got to capture that somehow. That's
We have to film it.
well,
I
we
just
will.
can't believe it. I'm shocked. Like, guys, I'm actually shocked. And not just because I'm dreaming this and it's not real, but because, right? Like, I'm sleeping, right?
Yeah.
You need to
We're gonna
be.
win
I
it up
think
in the morning.
you really
It'll
need
be
to
at
be.
17,000.
You know what's going to happen? I'm going to wake up in the morning and it's going to be January the 18th, and Rob will put on Slack, only 24 more hours and we're up. That would
Wow.
be so great
This is
if that
really
was
special,
true.
guy. Wow.
That's
Amazing.
shocking. I can't believe it.
The good news is we've reached all of our stretch goals thanks to
And our stretch marks.
to not just our last donor here, Sufyan, and I hope I'm mispronouncing your name. Sufyan. Not just thanks to him,
Wow,
but
that's
to
everybody.
every single person right
Everybody.
from the beginning.
Every
of this campaign.
1,107
Every dollar.
people. That's a lot of people.
To stretch
That's
goal.
pretty amazing.
And like Rand has said a number of times during this conversation, the fans have spoken, and the most awesome thing about Kickstarter really is that the discovery of what it is that's really important to you guys.
Yeah.
We know what's important to us, and Rob and Isaac being huge He-Man fans as well. What's important to them.
Is Rob gone?
He just died. He had a cardiac arrest.
Rob, are you okay? Do we need to call 911?
Clear.
Yeah, he's
Sorry,
Did you just need
reality
to?
is coming crashing back towards me now. I can breathe again. Oh.
I'm worried.
it was okay. I mean, if you
That's
could just
why
see
we
the,
do these hangouts. That's why
Wow.
this is important. That's why community matters right there.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
that is
It's
incredible.
shocking. It's
Yeah.
absolutely shocking. And by the way, it happened
Wow.
with
Not
10
many
minutes left.
I was gonna
So we should change that to $100,000 to the final stretch marks. Guys, the final stretch marks are at $100,000. No,
I've said that, and I know he's joking.
I am joking about
I
everything.
wonder if people got that
Well, here's
impression.
what I was going to say earlier before we reached that stretch goal, and I think you were starting to
I was
say
just about to
to
say
say the same
Yeah.
thing, is that we're at 73,500, whatever, but we know that, the last stretch goal, the She-Ra.
We got
and
another backer.
document-
Thank you, Steve.
Oh, thank you, Steve.
Is Steve in on this too now?
Yeah.
Steve is on it.
Steve.
I can't believe Steve's
Wow,
jumped
that's
in.
amazing.
But this is.
Go ahead. I was just going to say quickly, we're going to do it anyway, because that's the kind of people we are. We're passionate about things. We're so
No,
close
but
to it.
we weren't going to do it.
No. What I'm saying is
Now we are.
exactly.
And you know why we weren't? Because we didn't get to the goal. We can't set up a goal and then it be fake. The goal had to be real. You know what I mean?
No, I realize that. Well, what I'm getting at is that, yes, the goal, most importantly, I'll just speak for myself.
Okay, you speak for you. I'll look over here.
You speak for you. He'll speak for him.
I'm just gonna look over this way.
Dudes, we're at 7620.
That we collaborated together to reach that goal.
Who did? Like you and me?
Yeah,
Like all of
me
us?
and you and Rob
And
and
all of us
Isaac
together?
and all of
Yeah.
the 1,108 people, that are
Our
listed
new pals.
in this list that we're looking at
Yeah.
here, and people that we'll continue to have contact with through the duration of creating this film and
Mhm.
maybe even after.
Well, I hope that if we meet Sufyan, we get to have a nice coffee with Sufyan.
Mm-hmm.
And the others who, if they show up and we get to have a nice coffee with them and chat and share some tales, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
And we should shoot that.
Oh, we will.
He
shoot
yells.
that. Yeah, into the microphone.
What we'll do is
That's why we have to have our behind-the-scenes shooter with us, guys.
we'll have to have. We just listen. Don't.
Okay, guys,
stop
I gotta
bombarding.
read these comments from Brian, okay? Because he can
Okay.
only post again on Kickstarter.
Yeah, he's kicked off.
Poor Brian. I can't believe we got him banned from Facebook for life.
He
mean.
prays, like I said, he's praying for hope. Lucky number 13, maybe, as in 13 minutes. Oh my God, that just happened. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Lucky 13 really did it. The poster sold. Yay, it really sold.
5
to be honest,
minutes,
I wanted
folks.
it. But since I couldn't afford it, amazing this happened. Yay, does a little happy dance. Finally got my security settings low enough to live stream at work. Yay.
So,
That's over like 8 comments.
Brian, where's Brian from? Do we know anything about Brian?
I believe it's New Jersey, but correct me if I'm
He's
wrong.
from
Brian.
New Jersey, that's
Sign up
right.
for Kickstarter.
So, a couple things about Brian. If we find ourselves near New Jersey, we've got to find
Which
Brian.
we will.
So we have to go find Brian, and we have to. There's Brian right there. Right now. I'm stalking Brian.
On his Facebook.
Brian, is that you?
We got 5 minutes, guys.
Is that you right there with an animal skin on you? Brian, are you a prehistoric man? Tell the truth. You have an animal skin on you, and you look scary. You have a weapon.
I don't think he's.
Brian is chiming in right now via.
Is that
He's
Brian?
in New Orleans. Nolans,
Brian's in New Orleans.
not
No.
Jersey. My mistake.
Is
Yeah, so he's in New Orleans, which is awesome. 5 minutes to go.
Is he a cave creature? Is he a caveman with a skin? Yeah, he's about to answer the
It's
question.
Kevin who's from New Jersey. My mistake.
There we go.
Are we finding out if Brian is actually a prehistoric man? Are we about
This is
to
a
see that?
great way to spend the
So
last
5 minutes left. There is a slight delay. I should let everybody know between our broadcasts and what goes out there. I think it's 30 seconds to a minute delay, so it's not going to line up perfectly. But
He is the caveman. Brian is a caveman. Guys, this just in.
Nice.
Brian. It turns out Brian is a
He's in the Doctor
caveman.
Who character card series. For real.
my Facebook is blowing up now, which is fantastic because I put some profanities
incredible.
out there about how happy I am.
No profanities, guys. Come on, keep it down. And also, Brian likes the same guy I like, the guy who's friend with the Lions, the Lion Whisperer. I love that guy. Kevin Richardson, is that his name? No, Kevin Richardson is a voice actor.
So different, but still friends, it says.
It's so true.
And it is so
Brian, I agree. I love when people and animals become super good friends. 100%. Now we're just trolling through Brian's Facebook. And
because he can't.
All right, guys, we got 4 minutes to go. How about we wrap this up with 1 minute, kind of what we think as
Isaac.
we wind down. Mark, you go first.
Sorry, I was distracted. What was the
You were
question,
looking at a
Rob?
screen. It's okay. Last thoughts. 4 minutes to go. Mark, final wrap-up thoughts of everything that you've experienced from the launch of the first trailer in London to where we are now. Go.
Well, I mean, it's just been a great ride, and it's been inspiring. You know, I think that's the best word I can use. It's been inspiring to, participate, in the Kickstarter, and seeing all the comments, feeling all of the thoughts and excitement and the passion out there for this project. It makes it really, really exciting to be a part of it. I'm honored to be a part of it, and looking forward to delivering the best, most definitive documentary about He-Man and the Masters of the Universe that you guys can even imagine.
I like it. Joni has upped his pledge as well. Thanks for that, buddy.
who did that,
Isaac?
Tony?
Isaac, do you want to chime in with your final thoughts?
Yeah, well, Rob, when you were saying there about thinking back all the way to London when we announced this at the London Comic Con, when you're freelance in the film industry, like some of us are, or all of us are, you're used to having meetings with people where sometimes you're talking about, oh yeah, we're gonna do that project, and you kind of know deep down it's like there's a fat chance this is not gonna happen. And not that I say I ever had that feeling on this, but it's amazing to think we were standing around talking about it back then, going, well, yeah, we should do this, we should do that. Or even way back when you contacted me right after Turtles was kind of going public, and it's like the idea that we go from there to here, and now it is definitive that we're making a definitive film. We are making a definitive film.
88
He-Man.
seconds, and it's counting down live.
Here we go. And we're doing.
Rand, I'll give you the last word. I'll just say thanks to everybody out there that has supported this from the moment that we announced it. It's been a huge honor and privilege to have this burden to carry it forward and to make one of my dreams come true. Thank you guys so much. I can't wait to make a masterful documentary as powerful as the characters we're going to talk about. Rand, over to you. 60 seconds, go.
The wisdom of crowds, man. When people want to do something, they can just do it. And when people want you to do something, you can do it. So that just happened to us. And we're going to go out there and we're going to do the best possible version of it that we can. So I hope everyone's as happy at the end as they are at the beginning. How's that?
That was good. It was a good smile, too.
Worried smile. That's my worried smile.
30 seconds. Here we go. You going to play us
What about
out,
you?
Mark? Play us out.
Rob,
25,
I gotta wait for the ball to drop. We're all gonna sing.
20,
with you.
19, 8.
Oh, he's counting it, but it's off.
Sings, right.
Is it off a little?
And
Yeah.
now I'm going 10,
10.
9,
9,
8, 7,
7,
Ben?
5.
4,
4, 3,
2, 1. It's over, folks.
That's it. It's It's over.
Happy He-Man.
Did it. Thanks to you, we did it. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks to Mark, Rand, and Isaac for staying up to 3 a.m. $76,050, 1,108 backers. You guys are awesome. We'll see you on an episode of Chasing Grayskull. There will not be radio silence. There will be ongoing communication going forward. You're part of it now, and you can't get rid of us. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.